It's a packed house tonight for Reporter Roundup. Everyone getting tight. Well, looks like you guys already did, especially you guys. But now to present everything that we are doing tonight. So I'm going to present a question to all of you, and you have to answer that question by defending the team that you cover. To get to all of the coverages, I'm joined by men's soccer beat reporter James Groh, women's soccer beat reporter Luke McGrath, field hockey beat reporter Jonah Karp, and volleyball beat reporter Zach Levine. Everything sound good to you guys? You guys ready to go?
Yeah.
So I want to start with the best player on the Hill. Last season, that award probably goes to Miles Robinson of men's soccer, but he's in the MLS now, and someone else has to step up and take that role. James, is that player on the men's soccer team?
Why, yes, he is. The men's soccer team has a young Cristiano Ronaldo in Tajon Buchanan. Just a freshman, but he's already scored a game-winning goal for Syracuse. He's quick, got great ball movement, incredible skill. And did I mention he's quick? Fastest player on the field every single game.
The best player on the Hill is simply COURTNEY BROSNAN. She's the best goaltender in SU, maybe all time. In her last game of the season against Virginia Tech, she set the all-time saves record, recording her 344th save in a 14-save shutout. Clearly the best player on the Hill, over an 82% save percentage, and she started every single game since the beginning of her sophomore season.
The best player in Syracuse is Borg Vanderveld. She's only a freshman. She's the goalkeeper for Syracuse, and she's already a record holder. She's actually she's tied the record for the most shutouts in a single season with 11. She just notched her 11th, and that earned her ACC Defensive Player of the Week honors. And Zach, she's also Dutch.
I mean, my player's from Rochester, so I've got that. Yeah, I'm talking about Santita Abongwase. She's a junior on the volleyball team, obviously. She leads the team in points and hitting percentage, and she's number 2 in kills. So she's got speed, she's got agility, and she's just ready to go.
Well, a lot of great athletes, a lot of great points by all of you, but I'm going to have to go with COURTNEY BROSNAN. As you said, probably SU's all-time best goalie. Just incredible stuff, especially when you have that many saves and the number 44 is in it. It's a great SU number. Now in looking at teams, men's and women's soccer obviously have struggled this year. Women's soccer is done for the season. Men's soccer with a losing season.
Not the best.
Not the best. It's easy when your team is winning to have great moments. And so, Zach, volleyball has been winning. Have they had the best moment of the year?
I'd say by far they have had the best moment. It was on the road, Kansas State tournament. It was by far their toughest road tournament. It was out of conference. They played Wisconsin, a ranked team. They got completely shut out by Wisconsin. They came back. They had a tough game against K-State, but they ended up winning, and Leonard Yellen, head coach, got his 550th win. So that just propelled them into the ACC.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the best moment actually hasn't happened yet, and that's going to be Syracuse field hockey winning the national championship game. But if I were to pick a moment that has already happened, it's going to be Syracuse beating Duke down in Durham, North Carolina. Now, the Blue Devils were ranked number 2 in the country, and Syracuse was just 1-3 in ACC play at the time.
For me, maybe not the best moment on the Hill this year, but I think it is. It's the SU women's soccer team taking down Miami for their lone home ACC win of the season, taking down the Hurricanes on October 11th, previously scheduled for September 15th, postponed because of Hurricane Irma.
One win is the best moment in SU season this year. How few wins did they have?
Slim pickings, all right?
The best moment was this. John Austin Ricks, 35 yards out, chests a ball down off the half volley. He nails it into the back of the net, ties the game late in the game. Best moment of the year.
Well, James, you presented that like a young Shakespeare, but that doesn't get you the win. I'm going to have to go with Jonah. I appreciate how bold you were with picking the national championship, but also going down into Duke and defeating the Blue Devils. That is an incredible feat, especially over the number 2 team in the country. But we've talked about players, we've talked about the teams. Now let's look at some of the younger players on these teams. A lot of young talent all around the Hill. Who has the brightest future? James, we'll start with you again.
It's got to be the men's soccer team. Like I said, they got Tajon Buchanan. He's a freshman. They've got 13 more freshmen on that team. So the sky is the limit. This team will grow. The chemistry will flow, and they're going to be a great team in the coming years. It's the SU women's soccer team. You guys haven't been shy to mention not the best season of all time for the SU women's soccer team. Understatement. But listen, they only scored 17 goals, but 14 of those goals came from underclassmen, and their standard starting 11 usually featured 7 underclassmen. So a good young offensive core is in place, and I think the future is bright for this team.
Well, I already mentioned Borg, and she's a freshman. She's a freshman goalkeeper. But Syracuse actually has another good freshman, and she's an offensive player, and that's Carolyn Hoffman. She is second on the team in shots this year, and she's third on the team in points. So between Borg and between Carolyn, this team is going to look really, really good for the next 3 years.
well, we don't have a lot of freshmen, but we have a lot of juniors heading into the senior year. We've got Gorona, we've got Abongwase, and Jalissa Trotter as well. And honestly, this team is primed for next year. They've got a great future ahead of them if the seniors can't get anything done. El Asada, the freshman from Israel. So this team has a bright future.
Sorry, guys. Looking at pure numbers, it has to be one of the soccer teams. And Luke, it's going to have to go to James. When you look at the sheer numbers on the team, it looks like they have a really bright future ahead. The women's soccer season is done, but all 3 other teams are playing this weekend. I know you guys will be covering those games. So in looking at this weekend, make sure to check out all our content at CitrusTV Sports and on Twitter at CitrusTV. I think we all had a great time tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We kept it as professional as we could.
We sure did. But
we sure did. Yeah. James got a little out there. Certainly Shakespeare with the words, but a great time all around. Thank you very much.